There might be trouble brewing in Africa, with France and the US possibly getting ready for war. They're thinking about attacking Niger with the help of Nigeria and other countries in West Africa, especially member states of the Ecowas. The reason is that Niger's president, Mohamed Bazoum, was kicked out of power, and they want to put him back in charge. Top military leaders from West Africa recently met in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, to plan what to do if diplomacy doesn't work. It's a tense situation, and we'll have to wait and see what happens next. But is the Ecowas attacking Niger to reinstate the former president the right move? Shouldn't they let the people of Niger decide what they want? We are going to see more in this video. Before today, the Ecowas member countries gave Niger a 7-day ultimatum to reinstate the president or else they will invade. So, the time's up for the ultimatum given to Niger's military leaders, but now they have some new supporters. Algeria and the transitional presidents of Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso are backing Niger against Ecowas. These 4 countries warned that if they attack Niger, it's like declaring war on Burkina Faso and Mali. Everybody in the region and the whole continent is super worried. They're afraid that one wrong move could make everything go topsy-turvy and mess up all of West Africa. It's a really tense situation, and everyone is holding their breath to see what happens next. Guess what? Nigeria's president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now leading Ecowas, and they're not happy with the people who planned the coup in Niger. They're taking serious action. Ecowas has put tough punishments on Niger, like closing all its borders and stopping trade. They even stopped diplomatic stuff and banking services. Oh, and they made it a no-fly zone, so nobody can fly over Niger or its military leaders. They're really cracking down on them. It's a big deal, and everyone's watching to see what happens next. Nigeria even went as far as cutting the electricity supply to Niger. Okay, here's the scoop. Ecowas leaders had a big meeting in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, to talk about the coup happening in Niger. They're not happy about it, especially because there have been similar takeovers in Mali and Burkina Faso. After the meeting, they made it clear that they won't tolerate any coups. They gave Niger's leaders 1 week to fix things, or else Ecowas will step in and restore the normal government. This might involve using force, so military leaders are already planning for that. But here's where it gets tricky. Some countries like Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso are actually supporting the coup in Niger. They warned against using force and said they'll help Niger fight back against any invaders. It's like a big political showdown with different sides taking their stands. We'll have to wait and see who comes out on top. Mali and Burkina Faso promised to fight by Niger's side in a united statement against invaders. Any military intervention against Niger would amount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. Burkina Faso and Mali said in a statement. They didn't just end there. Mali and Burkina Faso also threatened to resign and cease to be members of the Ecowas and take action to defend themselves as well as support Niger. Mali and Burkina Faso didn't just end there. They accused the Ecowas leaders and member countries of being hypocrites and siding with the enemy, which has kept them poor for years. Algeria, another great African power, stepped into the matter and sided with Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, and also states that if any of these countries are attacked, she will take action and support them. The United States and France, however, denied all the accusations that they intend to intervene and invade Niger. But many people just won't cut it. They believe the US and France will intervene indirectly by using Ecowas or other means. The United States have many reasons to intervene. They already have a drone base, if not multiple, in Niger. Also, Niger also serves as host to a significant number of American special forces and logistics experts trained to engage in counter-terrorism operations against terror groups. France's interest in the region goes way beyond the military. France's main concerns are that they will be losing grip and control over Niger's uranium deposits, which guarantees energy supply back in France. Experts now believe that if Ecowas were to invade and attack Niger using its military forces, the US, France, United Nations, and European Union will all support them. But some influential Nigerians are not in support of this and ask their government to tread with caution and not invade or attack Niger, even if pressured by US and France. they plead with Bola Ahmed Tinubu to not lead Ecowas to war with its member nations. Some of the people who raised their voices include members of the Arawa Consultative Forum, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, legal luminary Femi Falana, ex-Naval Chief Sulaiman Saladu, and a whole lot more. Their main question is why there wasn't any military intervention by France and US or Ecowas when Mali, Chad, and Burkina Faso were also overthrown by juntas. Why that of the Niger Republic? What is the hidden agenda? They also asked their president not to be allowed to be pressured to initiate a pointless war with its neighboring country and later be left with all the blame, and I personally think they are right. As a matter of fact, Nigeria is the strongest military power in the entire Ecowas. No other Ecowas nation has the military power to fight Niger. Everyone relies only on Nigeria. It will weigh heavily on Nigeria financially, as they will use Nigerian taxpayers' money to carry out this invasion, since Nigeria offsets over 70% of all of ECOWAS's budget. This can also cause a disruption of Nigeria's economy, as the country itself, under the leadership of Bola Tinubu, is struggling with rising fuel and food prices. If Nigeria invades Niger, it will weigh heavily on its citizens in northern Nigeria, who have strong economic and social ties to Niger. 5 regions in Nigeria will be heavily affected by this. These regions are Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa, and Yobe. Also, Niger hosts over 300,000 refugees from Nigeria who flee from terror attacks. If Nigeria were to attack Niger, those refugees would be sent back to more danger in Nigeria. Nigeria wouldn't want that. Also, if Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso decide to support Niger in this conflict, it could lead to attacks in several Nigerian territories. This means Nigeria going to war with Niger is a very bad idea. Many people are warning President Tinubu about the dangers of getting involved in a war by invading Niger. They don't want Nigeria to become a puppet of Western powers or be dragged into a risky situation. There are serious concerns about a humanitarian crisis, the safety of people in northern Nigeria connected to Niger, and the fight against terrorism. They're reminding Tinubu of an old Nigerian saying, "Don't cry more than the bereaved." Basically, if the people of Niger don't want military rule, they should fight against it themselves. Experts say Western powers like France, the USA, the UN, and the European Union will only support the invasion to protect their own interests. But in the end, Nigeria and ECOWAS will have to face the consequences and feel guilty for potentially creating a situation like what happened in Libya after Gaddafi. What do you think about this potential invasion? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the new Tourisal for more African videos in the future.